Before I start the video, this is kind of confusing because this video is meant for my Inner Circle program. So I sent it to them, but I just decided to release it to my second channel. So I might talk about like some clients' names in there, so don't care about that. I also do mention like, oh, this probably won't get any views. The main reason why is because I have like a video course section in my school. So that's what I'm referring to, like stuff like that. Like I'm probably just gonna talk as if like you're in my program, but obviously most of you guys watching are not. So just keep that in mind before watching it. I drop a lot of game in this video because obviously it is for my program. Just a random video that I made just for fun. I had free time just giving out free game. If you guys want to join my Inner Circle program, there's a link in the description. You guys can fill it out if you guys are qualified. If not, just enjoy this video. And if you guys are broke, you can't literally afford to join my Inner Circle, I do have a $27 program as well. So if you can't afford a $27 program, I don't know what to tell you. Just better off working at McDonald's. But hope you guys enjoy the video. Like I said earlier, I drop a bunch of game in this video. So you guys will definitely enjoy it. All right. Holy crap. What did I just choke on? Goddamn. All right, boys, welcome back to another video. This is going to be a very different type of video. Very hands-on. Today I'm going to be explaining exactly how to structure your whole entire collection, how I do it. Obviously there is no right answer if you really think about it, but this is, in my personal opinion, the most optimal way to get the most amount of sales, as well as not taking a long ass time. And on top of that, trying to just push out as many products and as many collections as possible for that year. It's currently 12:30. I should be going to sleep right now. So I just hit legs today. I feel like, I don't know, throwing up. So let's just get started. What is a collection? Okay, this shit's not gonna work. So what is a collection? Okay, so a collection pretty much is a clothing brand dropping multiple pieces at once. Okay, so I would honestly say, personally for me, 4 to 8 is probably decent for most brands around that's making around 6 figures. Anything under 4, it's not really a collection. I would say that's pretty much just a product. Like you're just dropping a couple products. Now, should you drop multiple products, so like 8 products like this, or should you drop just 1 or 2, maybe even 3? Okay, what is the difference and what is the benefits of these? Now, I would say, just to begin with, this depends on your brand size. So if you have a lot of followers, you have a lot of customers, you get a bunch of sales, you should be doing this one. But if you have literally 1,000 followers, maybe 5K, you barely hit 5 figures, you should be doing this. Now, I'm going to consider that most of you guys watching this video, you're either planning for the future, so whenever you have more drops or you're trying to do a collection, or you're already making decent amount of sales, so you can drop around 4 to 8 products in a collection, okay? So I'm assuming that if you're first starting out, just drop a product or 1 or 2 products per every couple months, because that's the only way they can really go. Now, what's the benefits of dropping 8 products like this versus 3? So obviously if you drop 8 through 10 maybe, you're probably going to drop every 3 to 4 months. If you drop 2 to 3, maybe 3 to 4, you're probably going to drop at least 1 to 2 months. If you take more than 1 to 2 months when you're only dropping 3 to 4 products, you're doing something wrong, bro. Okay, that's on your end. So obviously, like I said earlier, there isn't like a metric where like, oh, you need to drop a specific item every single month, or you need to drop X amount of items, whatever the case may be. But just in general, I would say a good rule of thumb is if you're dropping 8 to 10 products, you should be dropping at least every 3 to 4 months. If you're dropping 3 to 4 products or anything under that, you should be dropping every 1 to 2 months. The main reason why is because it's easier. If you only have 3, 4 products, number 1, time, it doesn't take that long. Number 2, you just don't need that much inventory, that much capital, and you only need to move 3 to 4 products. Now, what's the pros and cons of both of these? I'll start off with the 3 to 4 because this is just less. The pro of having frequent, or I guess like frequent drops, both like minimal products like 3 to 4, is pretty much it's easier for you on your end because you only need to gather 3 to 4 products. Okay, you only need around 3 to 4 products to actually drop a collection, so you don't have to wait for a product. Usually, what happens with, I guess, a collection like this is you have to wait like another month maybe extra just because one product didn't come in. Okay, so I would say because of that, it's kind of annoying. And obviously, when you make a collection, you're usually making products specifically tailored for that collection. Therefore, if this one product right here doesn't come within a month and I try to move it to my next collection, it just wouldn't fit. Like, it just would look weird in that collection because I didn't make that product for my next collection. You know what I'm trying to say? So at this point, when you guys are making decent amount of sales, you guys, for every single collection, there should be a theme, there should be a colorway, you know, like a generally like a pretty good theme. Obviously, it doesn't have to be specific, but I guess the point I'm trying to make is if you're just doing, I don't know, like all graphic shirts, shorts, like a bunch of summer shit, and then you just suddenly drop a beanie on top of it, it kind of looks weird. So that's the point I'm trying to make. This will take longer. This takes obviously shorter, less capital, and on top of that, it's easier for you to just manage because you're only dropping 3 to 4. Now, what is the downside to this? The downside to this is pretty much you're dropping very frequently, which can be a good thing and a bad thing. So I would honestly say you dropping frequently isn't really a bad thing. Some people might say, all the mysterious brands might say that this is getting rid of the mysterious aura, whatever you guys want to call it, the mysteriousness. Like, it's pretty much getting rid of that because you're dropping so frequently. And I guess just in general, you're probably not going to have crazy days. So if you drop 3 to 4 products, you're probably going to make like 10K minimum or maximum, I would say, depending on how much inventory you have. But you're probably not going to even have that much inventory because you only have 3 to 4 products. So that's the pro and the cons. Like I said, the only con really is like the mysterious aspect. You're just dropping too frequently, which I don't think that's that big of a deal. I think another con is pretty much the time you have to hype up your drop. So every 1 to 2 months is very short. So I don't know if you guys understand, but if you're dropping maybe 1 product per month, that's not bad, right? So you have enough time to hype up 1 product, maybe even 2, okay? So maybe even 2. But if you're dropping like 3 to 4, you have to understand, you have to pretty much advertise all 4 products. So that means you have to send it all 4 products. You have to make individual videos for, you have to send it out to individual influencers. You have to take individual creatives for every single one. And it takes a very long time, okay? Because of that, when it comes to hyping up your drop, you honestly don't have enough time, which is the reason why when it comes to the actual revenue you make, when it comes to just dropping like the collection, it's not going to be more than 10K usually unless you have a lot of followers. And like I said earlier, the main reason why is because you don't have that many products to begin with. Number 2, you don't have enough time to hype it up. So the chances of you getting sales or as many sales compared to if you do like 8 products is very low. Okay, so this is the way I look at it. Obviously, like I said, this is very situational. If you have 100,000 followers, regardless of whether you do this method or this method, you're still going to sell out. Okay. But obviously, I'm not going to assume everybody in here has 100K followers on their Instagram. Now, I'm going to be going over the 8 products. So this is what I'm currently doing right now. Obviously, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't have like a specific like, oh, I need to drop at least 8 products, or I need to drop at least 10. I need to drop at least 6. I don't do that shit. Okay. I just make a bunch of samples and I make designs and products based on a specific collection, a specific theme. And then from there, I choose whether or not how many products go in. So if I think 9 products I have look good, boom, 9. If I think 8 products look good, or maybe I might only have 6, who knows? But like the point I'm trying to make is this is the average, okay? 8 to 10, this is what I really would call a collection. Anything like 3 to 4, I would really call it like a mini collection, if I'm going to be honest with you. Now, you may be asking, why am I explaining this to you? Well, like I said earlier, you guys are getting sauce. Okay, I want you guys to grow. But the real reason why I'm explaining this to you, and I'm gonna be honest, is because I'm actually going through this right now. So I'm kind of just like explaining this to you as if I'm going through it, but I'm actually going through it. Like I'm actually dropping a collection right now as we speak, and I have 8 products. So 8 products, pros and cons. The pro is that it does take a little bit longer. So when it comes to building up hype, it's way better because the longer it is, the more hype it builds. And also because there is 8 products, there's more to choose from when it comes to the customer. So you're definitely going to make more than 10K usually. Okay. Depending on, obviously the products, the price, whatever the case may be, but you're usually going to make more than 10K if you have 8 products. And I guess the downside, which I'll be talking about, is this thing that I just mentioned over here, where you have to do a bunch of individual marketing for every single one. Well, you have to do that times 2. You have to do this times 2 because you have 8 products. You use your fucking brain. So you have to do double the work. Now, because there's so many products, the chances of you individually pushing out every single product is very low. Okay, so you're probably like from the 8 products you have right here, like that you're pushing out, you're probably gonna like, this is what it's probably gonna look like. Okay, actually, yeah, probably like this. So I guess like as you guys can see, the more lines it has is the more effort you're putting into each product. So you're sending out to more influencers, making more content, just like pushing it out more, taking more creatives. So usually how it works is it depends on the brand owner, but usually the top 4 products get the most amount of love. Okay, so these are the bad bitches. These are the girls that you go to the club and you're like, damn, bro, you feel me? Like, holy crap! Like they break your neck. You feel me? It's like UFC. They just break your neck, but you're just looking back, holy crap! And you just talk to your boys like, bro, like that girl's bad as hell. And the boy and your fucking homie tells you go up to her, and then you're like, oh no, I'm a pussy, I can't. So this is what these products are. Now, these products are usually determined by the clothing brand owner. So for example, I think every clothing brand owner has their own favorites. So for example, in the 8 products that I have for my collection right now, I have around 4 products that I think are going to do really well, that I have gotten a lot of feedback from the customers, like when I posted it on my stories and shit. And objectively, I think it's just a pretty good product. And then there's these 2, which these are like, you post content here and there, but it's like nothing crazy. These are like the girls that you're friends with, like these, like they're obviously objectively not as pretty, but like they're like not ugly. You feel me? So these are the girls that you kind of just talk to and you're like friends with. Maybe if you're desperate as hell and you literally get no pussy and you've been on semen retention for like 5 years, you might like try to, pull a move on her or something like that. But in reality, you shouldn't, because she's your friend. So these are the products that you kind of push out, but you're not really like too pushing out because obviously, you're putting most of your attention at the bad bitches here. These, it's like whatever, mid, but you're still pushing content out. Okay, send it to a couple influencers, maybe 1 or 2. These you're sending out at least like 4 or 5. And then we finally have the last 2. Now, these are the bad ones, and I don't mean bad like she bad as hell. I'm talking about like, no, she's I don't want her. These are the type of products that you just unironically either don't push out because you just don't like it or you don't think it'll do well, but you bought a bulk order, so you're like, I just have to drop it anyways. Or these are products that just you don't have physically. Okay, so like for example, this girl right here, she might be a 10, like she might be a 7, 8, 9, but because she's in Paris and you live in America, you're not gonna hit her up, bro. You're not gonna go all the way to Paris just to see her. Like what the hell, bro? It's the same exact thing. Like your bulk order might be 3 weeks like in production and you don't have it. Like at least all of these girls right here you can access. Like they're in front of you right now, right? But these girls, they're not even in front of you. They're in like Paris. They're in like Australia or some weird ass country or some shit like Bangladesh. Is that a country? I don't even know. But these are girls that you can't access. And the main reason why is because they're not in front of you. These are the bulk orders that you probably don't have. And you guys might be like, oh, how does this happen? Well, motherfucker, it happens in every single collection, okay? Even for my collection, the reason why I pushed it back so many times is because I had like, actually it was like kind of like three. I had like three products that didn't come in because they were in production. This happened in the past. Like, I feel like now I'm a little bit better at it because I'm ahead of my schedule and like I just try to plan ahead. But in the past, like these products right here was what was killing me because I didn't have them in stock. So I couldn't take content. Even if I wanted to hit on these girls, I couldn't. These girls are in Paris, bro. What the fuck? So I can't. Same exact reason. So these are the bulk orders that you physically just don't have, which is the main reason why you can't, even if you wanted to, push it out, which unfortunately, because of that, you're not going to get a lot of love, or these products are just not going to get that many sales. Now, what is the con of having 8 products plus in a collection? Well, this right here, I just told you, not everybody can get love. At least if you did 4, everybody in here can probably get a decent amount of love each equally, right? Equal rights. But for the 8 products, you can't, because that's just not how life works, especially when there's more people. But I would say, even if this is the case, I personally don't mind, because these products that the girls in Paris, once they come to America, that's when I can show them a little bit of love, okay? So although these products are not with me right now, so when it comes to pushing out the collection, I can't really do it because I don't have the content. If I do get the bulk order in, which is probably going to be in a couple weeks, whatever the case may be, that's when you can start pushing out content and you should start getting sales. Obviously, for the drop day right here, you probably won't get that many sales for these products, but eventually, as time goes on, your sales will rise like this, okay? Considering that these are obviously decent products. Now, if these are trash products, like the mid ones right here, then you're just cooked. But it's kind of funny because usually the delayed products are usually just trash products that people have. Anyways, so this is the logistics of how to actually plan for a collection, or like the benefits and the cons of 8 products plus versus 3 to 4. Now, how do I actually plan for a collection? Okay, that's going to be in part 2.